A secret trophy for Nightreign revealed the name and appearance of the final Nightlord, and my god, did it give us plenty to feed on. This character looks like the meme of the promised consort equivalent of Rani, instead perhaps with Saint Trina on their back. It's like a mix between Pontiff Sullivan and Artorias. Heolstor is an Old English word meaning that which covers or conceals, darkness, a veil, covering, or a place of concealment. In other words, it suggests something that hides, obscures, or is a place of secrecy or darkness. The word is often used in the context of death or burial, as in a 10th century poem where it's used to describe covering the earth with darkness. While this appears to very much be the Dark Moon greatsword they are wielding, their appearance is very reminiscent of Pontiff Sullivan. And the other sword is very similar to both the Bastard Sword but also the Great Sword of Judgment wielded by Pontiff Sullivan. Though given the other sword having a lunar association, this other sword could very well be the same as the Blades of the Dark Moon. It also seems to be drenched in the velvet of Saint Trina, or a glow miasma. Obviously this purple association links them to either Saint Trina and her velvety slumber, which is the next best thing to death in the lands between, like the gloam death of the gloam-eyed queen. Fitting, given the gloam cape and crown. The armor is outrageously reminiscent of the door to the boss fight, down to what I have sworn black and blue represents a dragon. This would technically mean we are fighting within the Nightlord when we battle the other Nightlords. They have 3 arms, like Miquella after ascending, and the physical arm that remains is the right arm, which symbolizes the body, while the left, which is missing, symbolizes the soul. However, as discussed with Miquella and Rani in previous videos, this is to separate the soul and body while keeping them anchored to one another, as we see the spectral arms below. In my opinion, Rani being different as she never intended on ascending with a consort, anchored instead to her doll, while Miquella is anchored to Radagon. You can see further information and nuances of this here. Though by no means exact in appearance, the dagger they wield reminds me of the Chris blade, which is reminiscent of a knife used in an ancient ritual. It is reminiscent of the sacrificial instrument used in the primal glintstone soul transferal technique used by primal sorcerers, fitting given it is wielded in the left hand, which represents the soul, though it would be very interesting if it was some form of parry dagger. At first glance, this object in its chest appeared to be the Rune of Death, but it is in fact in the shape of Marika's rune, and even looks exactly like her body in the endgame, down to the missing arm. I would wager ultimately this is merely a vessel for the Formless Master to host the Elden Ring, akin to the vessel Radagon, who hosts the Elden Ring for his secret master from afar, which also fights us in its own ethereal and fabricated space. So if anyone takes the mantle of the Nightlord, surely it is Heolstor. Maybe the Formless Master is something other, like the Elden Beast to Radagon. We won't know until we have defeated the Nightlord himself. I swear this game is going to kill me before it even releases. This nightmare haunts my every attempt at sleep. I can't wait to be mugged by the Felloman during Everjails, only to cheese him with the entire dairy farm later. I'm greatly anticipating the release of Nightreign, and will be streaming on both PlayStation and PC through YouTube from release until I have a mentee bee. I'll be joined by the likes of Nameless Singer, and hopefully some other fellow LoreTubers and friends, and it should be nothing short of a blast. Huge shout out to my friend Blackcurrant Lore for linking me to these wonderful images you can find in the description below. And as always, thank you to the amazing Banuune for the incredible thumbnail. See you there, and don't forget to like and subscribe for upcoming content. I am sure Nightreign will provide the finest ingredients.